Washington football. Woo! Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Burgundy Zone. I am your host, Kyle, and I am joined by my two co-hosts, Michael Hall and Michael Reed. But we are joined by a very special guest, center of the Washington football team, Mr. Tyler Larsen, returning guest. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. How are you doing on this beautiful Friday evening?
Doing great. Thanks for having me again.
Of course, sir. And look, it's been a little while since the last time that we talked. But before we get into that, I just want to say the Burgundy Zone is part of the Frederick Podcast Network. You can find out more at www.listenfrederick.com. But I want to look back at the season, Tyler, and kind of now we've seen it come to fruition. We see it for what it is. If you could describe the season in one word, what would it be?
Man, I think frustrating. Just as a player on the team, seeing how well we were doing, and just a lot of hiccups here and there. But at the same time, I think it was a really good learning process for this new staff coming in their second year, and kind of seeing how guys react to a lot of adversity. And I just being a part of it and seeing what happened, I'm excited for what's to come.
Yeah, and speaking of adversity and all that stuff, a guy that had to come in. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought there for a second. But a guy like Keith Ishmael had to come in, kind of got thrust into the limelight due to injuries and whatnot. How do you think he finished out the season, being, like I said, as he was thrust into the spotlight?
I think he did a great job. You can see his confidence every single game just grow more and more. And, a young guy for him to be able to step in and do what he did, I think he did a great job. And I think future's bright for Keith.
Yeah, I would completely agree. Really, for this entire O-line, especially guys like you, Wes Schweitzer came in playing center, Keith, and you guys all did admirably. It really seemed like for a while the O-line didn't miss a beat, especially with you in there. Hey, props to you. Good job. One thing I've always been interested in with this O-line, I know, as you know, we had Trent Williams for years over here playing left tackle, holding that side down. He was a leader in the locker room. Who has kind of been the leader of the offensive line in the locker room for you guys this past season?
I would say Brandon and Charles were big time leaders.
Okay.
But just going with, we have so much experience that it really helps. At one point when I was in there and Luke instead of Sam starting, we had guys that were 6 years and above. And
right.
That experience is awesome. That itself, just the experience, brings out a little bit of leadership with each and every one of those guys. But I think that Charles and Brandon were really probably the bigger leaders out of
right. And real fast, shout out to Charles. Charles Leno came in here this offseason as a free agent and just immediately won over the fan base with his real family posts and just showing being involved with the fan base. So shout out to Charles.
No, he's an awesome guy.
Yeah, and the organization, nobody deserved it more than Charles. I'm glad that he can call this place home. I know he's been busy the last couple weeks. I hope everything is great. I know he's a new father as well, so congratulations to the Leno family. For my next question, Tyler, it's the off season. I wanted to ask you, how are you doing in your rehab, and what are you going to be doing in the off season?
Getting the Achilles right. I've been apart from my family for 6 months just because I was on a 1-year deal. It was hard to move everyone, so we left them out in Utah, and just making up all that lost time with the kids and my wife, and just trying to get as healthy as possible, as fast as possible, and hopefully come back to Washington one more year.
We play any video games?
Oh, Halo. I got on that campaign. I saw some of your posts on Twitter. I had to try it. And, man, it's fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Halo is definitely a good game. So you're a guy that's been playing for Coach Rivera when it goes back to Carolina as well, and he's going into year 3 with here in Washington, and everyone's been talking about the culture change and how he's been. Everyone's been playing for him. Everyone loves playing for him. what are you expecting going into year 3, just as far as on and off the field?
I just, I've with the way Ron works, he has his ways, and he's not going to skip a beat. So he's trying to create that culture within the team. He's going to continue that inside the locker room and everything, and then off the field, he's just a great guy. He really is. I've got no ill will towards him or any bad things to say about Ron, but I think there's going to be a lot of different things that are going to be happening this offseason. Wish I had a crystal ball with everything that could happen and everything, but I think it'll be an exciting offseason.
This is the most important offseason in Washington history, and like you said, hopefully we bring you back. I think you're a key unit to this offensive line and really the continuity. I just have to ask, you don't have to answer this, but have you seen the new jerseys yet?
I haven't.
No, you haven't seen anything, heard any rumblings, anything in the locker room?
As far as I know, only a few guys have seen anything. So
okay,
they're keeping that very close to the chest.
Do you have a horse in the race?
What's that?
Do you have a horse in the race? Do you have any particular thought or interest in any of the names?
I have interest, but I just love seeing everyone and their insight and all that.
All the investigative guys going in and looking at the reflections. And
There's
stuff.
some pretty intense things.
There
are some internet sleuths out there that piece together a logo from like 5 different images from different angles and a reflection behind Rivera when they lifted up the helmet, and it's just good for you guys,
right? Yep.
Now, Tyler, too, I wanted to ask you, with coming up and you being a ball player and everything like that, the playoffs are here, and so there's a bunch of matchups going on this weekend. For you, is there a matchup that stands out that you're going to watch or you're looking at there like that's going to be a lot of fun?
I'm really interested to see what the Tampa Bay and Eagles game. I think that'll be a really cool matchup. And then on the AFC side, I'm really excited to see what the Steelers end up pulling out with the Kansas City.
With Big Ben's
vote of confidence.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's just. He's doing a good job making everyone want to watch that game.
Yeah, hey, he was honest. You got it. Right? You can't fault the dude. He was honest. We're not as good as some of these other teams that are in here right now.
That's the right kind of attitude you have to have going into that kind of matchup, I mean.
Oh, for sure. Makes them that much more dangerous.
Exactly. You think Ben cares about losing right now? Ben's like, I'm out the door anyway. We're not good.
I think the way that he was able to close out at Heinz Field and all that, right. I think he's just on cloud 9. Whatever happens after this,
exactly.
Yeah,
everything is gravy on top.
Yeah.
They just released the All Pro first team players, and a guy that got a couple votes was Jonathan Allen, and he just obviously took his game to like a whole nother level after the first couple seasons here. What was it like going against him in the locker or in practice every single day?
Tough, man. He's a hell of a ball player. He really is. And I mean, it sucks going against him every day in practice, but at the same time, I mean, it makes me that much better of a player because you get to go against some of the top D linemen that we have, and it's just a learning experience each and every time you're out there on the field against him.
Right. So another player that really kind of shined this year, but kind of flew under the radar, I think was one of our favorite rookies, was John Bates, the tight end. A lot of people don't realize this. John Bates was the best blocking tight end in the NFL this past season as a rookie. Mm-hmm. What did you teach him? What did you do to this man?
Man, I didn't teach him anything. I'll tell you what, though, Pete Hainer, he's going to get any tight end that he has right when it comes to pass blocking and run blocking, anything. He's a great position coach.
And not only blocking, but I mean, look at what he's gotten out of these guys. Ricky Seals-Jones, Logan Thomas. Yeah. I mean, they've all played fantastic under him. So
I heard he's not scared to have colorful language, so to speak.
Oh, not at all. One bit.
Absolutely. Now, my next question to you, Tyler, is, as a player looking at this team, and the fan base is so adamant and about making immediate changes in this sort of thing, and going after a guy like Jack Del Rio and Scott Turner. As a lineman, do you feel like that's not something in the realm of possibility, right? Because do you really think as a player that that's something that should happen?
I personally don't. I think the schemes that we have are great. I just think we lost a lot of key pieces throughout the season. And, I mean, the healthiest that we were rolling. And I think everybody saw that. It's just, it's easy to pick things apart. But, I mean, there's a much, much, much bigger picture out there than what meets the eye. But I think both coordinators are amazing in the type of scheme that they have. I think it's a really good fit, especially with the talent that we got on the team.
Yeah, 100% agree. So whenever the season ended, they came out with like the offensive line grades, and so Washington was ranked in the, I think, top 10 in both pass blocking and run blocking. And then as well, you had Antonio Gibson eclipse 1,000 yards this year.
Yep.
How much pride do you take in being a lineman when your running back can eclipse 1,000 yards, especially nowadays when the NFL is like a lot of there's like more of a passing league nowadays?
Yeah, no, that's an awesome achievement. And I mean, I didn't get too many games, but from what I got to, I mean, it's special to be able to contribute to that. But it's not an easy feat, and I'm happy for AG getting that. And I mean, let's keep stacking a couple more.
Yeah. He took care of you guys, right? I saw a video of Jonathan Taylor getting his offensive lineman. What was it? It was some designer bag. I don't remember what it was, but they were all.
I don't remember, but no, they take care of us. We're good.
Okay, good. Keeps you guys well fed, nice. And,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good.
We're happy.
And now another guy is Sam Cosme, who did miss some time this season, but came back and finished out, and I thought did pretty well along with a guy like Keith Ishmael. So what did you see out of Sam Cosme this season? And I know that the Cowboys game is kind of going to mess things up and everything, but how did you think he did to finish out?
I think he did a great job. I mean, he kind of just got thrown in the fire, and I don't think he really skipped a beat. He once he really found that confidence that you need to be out on the field, I think he really found his niche, and he just kept his head down and was grinding. And I'm excited to see what he's going to be doing the rest of his career, because he's a great player.
Yeah, when he's not filming Game of Thrones as the Mountain, he seems like he's a pretty cool guy.
Dude, seriously.
He does look like the Mountain. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, he does.
So like I know you mentioned earlier that your off season you're going to get the Achilles right, come back stronger than ever next year. But what would a regular off season look like for Tyler Larsen?
Gosh, every single day I'm just nonstop dad mode, hanging out with the kids, going on walks, doing whatever we can. Because I mean, once the season starts, I don't get too much time except for in the evening. So I just try to catch up as much as I can, and just try to have fun with the kiddos.
Yeah, there's nothing more important than that either, and that's awesome that you're such a family man. What is your timeline for recovery look like? When do you think you're going to be able to resume football activities?
Man, I'm praying that I could get back 7-8 months, but
yeah,
I mean, you never know, especially with my position, it's a little tougher. So
right.
I don't know. I'm still just in the cast now. Weight bearing. So
right.
Can't really see how well it's doing yet.
Right, it's still new, but I will say, you are one of the only centers that came into the game that we didn't hear fans complain about. So that you got that right now. Yeah. Like I said, you didn't miss a beat. Good. Love that about you. Yeah. When you're not hearing the center's name all the time, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's quite the accomplishment right there. And you weren't going to get out of here, Tyler, without talking about a quarterback. And to wrap this up, I have a couple, but with the quarterback position with Taylor and looking at this team in the future, if let's just say subjectively, you're sitting outside of this and you're looking in, would you go down the route of a veteran quarterback or a rookie quarterback looking at the way that this team is framed?
Gosh, that's tough. I think, honestly, with this type of offense, either way you can benefit. I think with a rookie, it might be a little bit harder to kind of just the way that, because this offense is kind of a different breed compared to all the other ones that I've seen out in the NFL.
Okay.
So it might be a little bit more difficult. I think, really depends on veteran type of quarterback that you can possibly get. But I think a safer route might be a rookie, just because then you can kind of build up from just the ground level. And then if you get a veteran rookie or veteran player, I think you kind of have to run into what they're used to, kind of have to change the offense a little bit more. And I think that can affect everyone from the quarterback down. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a hard question. I know I kind of give a really political, non-biased, just try to say for out, but yeah.
It makes sense. Yeah. And now the last one for you, Terry McLaurin. What is it like to play with Terry? And then do you think that Terry's going to be getting this deal to come back?
I hope so. I mean, he's one hell of a player.
Yeah.
He is a great leader on the field. He gets guys going, keep people level when, it all hits a fan.
Yeah.
I think he's a guy that you would want to keep on your team as long as you can.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, dude. I wholeheartedly agree. Tyler, I can't thank you enough being able to take some time out for us. I know you said in the offseason it's dad mode. I wish you the best with rehab and dad mode. Make sure you keep your sanity, brother. Have a good night, brother, and stay warm.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks.
All right,
Next time we'll have a dad mode T-shirt for you.
Yeah.
All right, hey, I'll wear that bad boy all day.
Hey, absolutely. Thanks, Tyler. We'll talk to you, brother.
Yeah. All right.
All right, everybody. We just spoke with Tyler Larsen. That was awesome, dude. He's such a great guy for being able to take some time out for us. 'Cause I know he's got a lot going on with everything.
Dude, I couldn't imagine having to rehab like that. Just having something where you're like, you can't go back to work. You can't do what you've done your entire life for like another 7-8 months. Sucks.
Especially
and then you just got to go return. Too. Exactly. Then you just got to go return. And by the way, sometimes it gets stronger when you're healthy, but like sometimes it's so good luck. Like that's just
yeah, and the one thing I wanted to talk about is a developing story that just came out before we started recording. But that apparently,
yes, I am a woman.
Deshaun Watson apparently had offered one of the 22 accusers, $100,000 to be able to, stifle everything going on. And so does that kind of change your mind about things, Reed, with the possibility of Watson?
No, because like. Usually when I see somebody paying somebody and there's a settlement going on, usually kind of like, all right, that guy's got something to hide. They didn't let it get to courts. But Deshaun just missed an entire year of football. He's entering his prime. He needs to make money. He wants to get back on the football. Like if it's not going away, I could see why he would do it. That's a lot of money. And if I were him, I would have just been like, let me give you a massage. You lay down on the table. I'm just kidding. No, it's tough, man. It's tough with Deshaun Watson. I don't think I see why it would change some people's opinions, but for me, I'm hoping he just wants to get back on the field because I'm hoping that didn't happen. I also don't want to think anybody would lie about that. So
yeah, I don't think so either. And it does change my mind more about things because you are you're validating the claims at that point, in my standpoint. But that is not an admittance of guilt. But I am glad that she is keeping what she's saying true to her word, and we're really going to find out because I know this is a civil case. It is not a criminal case as far as right now is concerned. Right, Hall?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've been one of the people that's been vocal about we need to get Watson to DC, but I've always had the caveat, the asterisk next to it of if anything comes out with the case and he's found guilty or anything like that, anything that's misconduct, then of course you just chuck up the deuces. You move on to the next potential candidate at the QB position. But does it change my opinion? I'm kind of like with you, Kyle, where it's it does kind of seem why are you trying to throw money at it and make it kind of go away? But like Reed said, I'm also on the side of things where he's missed a whole year. Obviously, he's probably still in shape and still in football. Well, not football shape, but still in shape. He's been training, but he's trying to get back on the field. And with the new season coming up pretty much starting in March, that's when free agency happens.
Yep.
That's when they can start they can actually trade him, finalize a trade. I feel like maybe hopefully his thinking was, well, maybe if she takes the money, that's one less of the civil cases to worry about, and that's a little bit an inch closer to me getting back on the field and getting on with my career. So I can definitely see both sides of it. I know people are probably going to look at the more negative side of it, which I don't take any grievance with or anything like that. So yeah, like I said, I just want to see everything come out, and then I'll just make my decisions from there.
And he's writing the first one $100,000 check too.
Apparently, it's not
at
the
least
only one either. That's
$220,000.
I will say,
that
though,
he's got going out the
Yeah.
window.
I will say that there was like 22 women, and 18 of them did say they would take the money. So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's up in the air. Like who knows? Like
yeah.
I would take
the, like, I don't know.
I understand.
I would take the money. He comes here. I'm gonna be like, Deshaun. He asked me for a massage, man. And guess what he did? And I'm gonna get paid too. Watch. I'm just kidding. No, that's
ridiculous. Now let's go to our fan questions. The one being from the Colonel is given that Washington had the toughest NFL schedule this season, hosts comment that the entire season was a quote unquote measuring stick. Mahomes, Rodgers, Brady, etc. Did it give Ron and Jack and Martin a clearer view of what to focus on in the offseason, Reed?
Yeah, I think so. Like, no matter how you slice it, we were 7-10 this year. We had 7 wins last year. I think that with a harder schedule, and especially with our defense kind of taking a step back, the murderer's row of quarterbacks that we face, I still think that this was a success. And yes, I do think that this gave the coaches a lot to look at because they realized that this defense, they got a lot that they got to do with this defense, but they did see the year before that they do have the skills. So I think that they're going to re-scheme some things. Some players broke out on offense. I think that they know that their one weakness right now is quarterback, so they have to address that position. So yeah, I think that they gave them enough that they can look at that they can take the next step.
Yeah, I totally agree with you in that aspect. I don't even think it's just based on who they played this season. With all the injuries that happened with like to Logan Thomas, seeing Ricky Seals-Jones in week 2 make the touchdown and game-winning touchdown to win, that was awesome. And then to have a guy like John Bates come in, you saw what John Bates is capable of. And then you have like Elders Corn come in. You have Cam Curl being thrusted into the role, having a bunch of snaps initially, and then taking control and really turning around the defense for that 4-game winning streak. And then the same with Bobby McCain. So you kind of saw, and then
DeAndre Carter,
Sam Cosme as well, and then the center position. So you did get to see a lot of this team because they got bared down, dude. You really got to see them at like a skeletal kind of place, and so I think the coaching staff was able to really see what they had, like guys, for instance, like James Smith-Williams, Shaka Toney. They did a really, really good job. I think Daniel Wise is another guy, but remember, he got injured, unfortunately, late in the season. What about you, Hall?
So what was the original question? Because my computer kind of froze up in the beginning.
What, like the entire season being a measuring stick going against like Mahomes, Rodgers, and Brady, did it give basically the front office a clearer view of what to focus on in the offseason?
Yeah. I mean, I think it did a little bit. I mean, I think going into it, they knew that the glaring need was quarterback, and so I guess from a offensive standpoint, where they were kind of towards the end of the bottom of the league and statistics, stuff like that. Overall.
Your mic went out, Hall. Sorry, dude. It was right in the middle of it. But let's go on to our next question. And this one is from the Colonel as well. Some of the latest shows are saying that Matt Corral and Harris are the top quarterback prospects. Given our draft pick, do we have a realistic shot at either one of them? I think he meant Willis.
Yeah, Malik Willis.
Yeah.
So do we have a realistic shot at either of them with picking at 11? At either of those two, yeah, I really think that the number 1 quarterback is going to end up being Kenny Pickett, especially if his hand size, if the thing with the opposable or the double jointed thumbs is true, especially, I think that'll help. That'll just help his stock out. He just played so much better than a lot of those guys. At 11, I do think we would have a chance at a Matt Corral. Possibly he may go a little before that, but a Malik Willis, I would imagine he would be there, but Kenny Pickett, I don't think so. And yeah, those guys, it's going to be interesting what happens. Malik Willis can go as high as 11. Malik Willis could go second round. So it really just depends.
I don't think he's going to go second round because somebody's going to trade up into that first and be able to get that 5th-year option on him if they get him because he is
right.
I was able
to
watch.
The only thing is his passing is so bad.
Yeah, I was able to watch a lot of the film on these guys. The first one was Malik Willis, and then it was Kenny Pickett. I watched Sam Howell, and I watched Matt Corral. And yeah, I'll tell you, I did not like Matt Corral's film that very much, to be perfectly honest with you. I know no one's really going to believe me with that, but I just didn't.
You're 100% right.
I thought he looked like Taysom Hill, but like a quarterback version that has a strong arm, is what reminded me of him. And I think he's perfect for New Orleans. If he would go into Sean Payton's system, because Sean Payton loves to run those slants, open up the middle of the field, every time he's going off play action. But do I think that we'll have a realistic chance to get one of these quarterbacks? 100%. It's the fact, are they going to get a veteran quarterback in the offseason in order to be able to say, no, we don't need that. Let's use that on Jacoby Dean, whatever have you. So we don't know what aspect they're going to go down, but they will be in a prime spot to be able to get a quarterback if they want to. They're all kind of in the same pool, I would say. And so at 11, there's not that many quarterback players. I think they definitely will have a chance.
Yeah, I'm with y'all. They definitely have a chance to get one of these quarterbacks. Like you said, I'm pretty sure Pickett is probably going to be going before we get to 11, especially with the news that David Culley getting fired, which means they're going to have a new head coach. And
Brian Flores, boy.
I was looking
Brian
at the
Flores, which means they're probably going to have a new quarterback. And I'm sure he doesn't probably want to have Davis Mills as a starting quarterback coming in as a new head coach. So they'll probably go quarterback, and then obviously it depends what Denver does in front of us.
There could be an argument made that Davis Mills was one of the better quarterbacks.
I agree, but I'm just saying,
especially if Flores is there, he might want to take one of those blue chip defensive players that's there. But they need a quarterback.
That's true. But I just think that, I mean, look, they could draft a rookie and have Davis Mills and let him battle it out. You see what I'm saying? So that's my only thing.
Yeah.
But obviously, like I said, it depends what Denver does. Like, are they going to go after a veteran? Are they going to go after Aaron Rodgers? If not, then they'll probably be in prime position to draft a quarterback as well. So, like I said, we definitely will be in prime position to draft a quarterback. It's just a matter of, are they going to get, like you said, get a veteran and then maybe at 11 go playmaker or like an offensive weapon, or are they going to go middle linebacker at 11, something like that?
Dude, so. I'm looking at Dean, man.
Jacoby Dean's so good. He's unreal. Real fast, another thing about quarterback, when you look at the draft positions in front of us, I don't think this many teams will be in the running for a quarterback in the draft, but you can make the argument that like 7 or 8 of those spots, 7 or 8 of the 10 spots in front of us, those teams could go quarterback at that time. So like everybody needs quarterback help, it seems like right now.
Somebody trying to kill Hall? What was that?
No, I'm pretty sure he has a poltergeist.
That was weird. Yeah. But the last question from the Colonel, and this is regarding to the rebrand for the Washington football team. He says, personally, I think the name is going to be Commanders. He said, I think there's been plenty of like foreshadowing of that. However, I have heard something disturbing. Is Red Hog seriously a possibility? I would rather hear the wolves howling than the pigs sniffling and oinking. What do you think, Hall?
Well, I don't think that Red Hogs per se is definitely in play, because I don't think that they're going to go anything with red in the first name of it or part of it. I think they're trying to stay away from the red part of things just because what it was before. But yeah, I mean,
Chad Ryan said right before we started recording that from a source that he has, that the Hogs and any variation of it is gone, by the way.
There you go. But I have a source that's my next door neighbor's brother's first cousin that got 3 times removed and married back into the family again. And he said that it's going to be the Admiral. So who knows? No, I'm just joking.
He's got a PhD though, bro.
I have a source on Twitter, somebody that I see post that says that he knows the name and that he's not going to tell us, but we'll all be shocked. And he also says that it's not anything anybody's expecting. So I have that.
That's the route I'm going. I think that like all the Commanders, Admirals, Hogs, all that stuff, I think it's going to be a name out of left field that no one's going to know, and everyone's going to be like, what? So hopefully it's a good one.
Yep, I agree with you. And one aspect of the Hogs I don't think anyone's really talking about, I don't think that this administration wants to really like isolate a certain part, race or religion of people. I don't think the Muslim community would appreciate the Hogs as a name. They couldn't probably represent that. You know, they detest those animals. So I would imagine that that's probably one avenue why you can't.
Sponsored by a bunch of alcohol companies or something.
Right.
Muslim people don't drink either. No, but that's true. That's a good point. But if they're going to name it after a historical group within the franchise, why don't they just call it the Smurfs? That would be tight, right? Papa Smurf was cool. He wore red.
No, but the Colonel did have one thing to say before we go on to our next questions. He was talking about the Cleveland
Washington Fun Bunches.
Cleveland Guardians and how crappy of a process that was, and how the fans overnight, they didn't even know. They weren't submitted at all. They didn't have any input into the situation. And so he's kind of saying, like, what is the difference with Cleveland? Because, like, now they hate the name and they hate the logo and everything. So, like, what is the difference there, Reed?
Big difference. I mean, Jason, when we talked to Jason at training camp, he brought that up, that specific example about the Guardians, and like they rushed into it. They didn't take their time. They didn't dot their I's. They didn't cross their T's. They just kind of rushed into it, and they had a dumpster fire around it because of that. He said that's exactly what we do not want to do. We want to take our time. We want to make sure everything's checked off. There's no issues. We want to make sure that it's something that we've thought about, that it works, that we have different options. So it's just night and day. We did it the right way, whether no matter what, when the name comes out, it'll be memed to death, but we did it the right way. Guardians, on the other hand, they got themselves in a whole mess there.
Yeah, look, I agree with the way that we did it rather than the way Cleveland did it. I think that was it was behind the scenes, and it wasn't. That's not a good name, to be honest. It's not a good logo. It sounds
like a minor league soccer team or something.
And
like
so,
a roller derby.
Yeah, I would much rather go down our path because, look, I know people are going to say that, like, we weren't really included. They never were taking our submissions. I understand that. I agree with you. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying the fact that they did that, they had people come in with submissions so they could see and grasp what people were feeling, because then they could make an accurate decision on what to pick. And so in that aspect, we were contributing in a sense, rather than the Guardians fans had no idea whatsoever. And so I do think that is a plus for this situation in particular. And it's been fun, dude. I mean, as crazy and chaotic as it's been fun during this time.
Yeah, I think they did it right. Like y'all said, I mean, I wouldn't want to run into any legal issues, or possibly like Reed said, there'd be a minor league roller derby team, or like some random motocross like mascot or something like that. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, the only thing I would be like is could have been like a year faster. Other than that, I'm kind of just like, it is what it is. And I've waited this long, so I'm not really worried about an extra, down to like 20 days or something like that at this point. So this last 20 days is going to be a wild ride, especially on Twitter. And I can't wait for the next Twitter war of tomorrow.
I know you want it done in a quick time span, Hall. I get it, dude. But the fact is, it's just that legal time.
Throw that in the microwave.
That legal time. That's how you get the Guardians, Hall. That's how you get the Guardians.
Yeah, Hall's 100% the type of dude that doesn't cook his ramen noodles on the stove. He just sticks them in the microwave. He's like 30, 45 seconds.
I used to do that. Yeah. But now I went back to the original OG.
Been enlightened.
Put it on the stove.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I used to be a microwave guy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so did I. We all did. But then you learn that the best things in life for worth
you guys are
for.
Aliens. No, never.
Yeah,
now our
wrong.
question.
Kyle, you don't eat ketchup though or anything either.
So what? All right. So our next question. Don't bring that up. Or is from Orange Crush 92. Question is: looking back at the NFL draft as a whole on the year, who was one person you were projecting to the team last year in your drafts that you saw perform amazing this year and wish they were on the team now?
I gotta say, there was one person that I thought about a week before the draft, I thought Micah Parsons was gonna fall to us because there was talk about him falling and like all this stuff behind the scenes, and you look at him now and you're just like, God, he's unreal. But I still like Jamin despite what people think. But I really thought for a little bit that there's a chance that we could get Micah Parsons.
One guy I was not really that high on because I didn't think he would have a position like kind of like a hybrid. Come to find out that we're going to be doing the Buffalo nickel all year. And yeah, I want J.O.W. Jeremiah Amosu Koromoa.
Yeah. Koromoa.
J.O.K. What did I say? J.O.K.
Yeah, J.O.W.
I couldn't think of his name. I got a lot going on over here. Like,
he's got poltergeists and stuff. Somebody's breaking in trying to kill him.
trying to get my stuff.
Nah, JOK is a guy that definitely stood out. He was making plays for the Browns all over the field, and obviously, he was in play at 19 for us, and they went Jamin Davis. Like Reed said, I still think that with them moving Jamin Davis to the outside, and I definitely think that he'll be able to pick up the game a little bit faster and be able to make a lot more splash plays next year. Hopefully he'll turn into a solid player and a great player during his tenure here. But yeah, JOK is a guy that I kind of wanted, but then kind of slept on. But now I'm kind of like, I wish we kind of took him.
Mine is Pete Warner, the linebacker that came out of Ohio State, ended up going to the Saints. I thought he fit us perfectly in a 4-3, kind of the will linebacker, being able to cover outside and being able to come up and make tackles. I thought he would have been a great person to have, but the Saints really jumped up everyone was telling me it was crazy in the third round. I think they took him in the middle of the second, so it really surprised a lot of people. So for me, it's definitely Pete Warner.
Oh, real fast, Kyle, can you admit yet that I was right about the offensive tackles that we had debates about for 2 years, Penei Sewell and Jackson Carman.
Yeah. But he wasn't even that good, dude.
I know. It sucks. It sucks because like then you had Rashawn Slater come in and just completely destroy everything that Penei Sewell was supposed to be.
Right.
But I still won technically.
Now,
isn't it funny? All three of us went linebacker at that position too.
Yeah,
we did.
We knew. We've been hugging it.
We knew.
Gave us Jamin Davis the week before.
Right. Now, the next question from Orange Crush, it's a flip-flop. An additional question to ask, who do you project in the 2021 draft to the 2022 draft to the last year's draft to the team that flopped and you're thankful isn't on the team?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, I got one. People, I mean, no, I didn't necessarily think this was going to happen, but everybody was talking about us trading up for Justin Fields, and everybody was so mad that we didn't do it. And I get it. Jamin Davis didn't perform too well this season, but like Justin Fields, everybody swore this guy was going to be him and Trevor Lawrence. They're going to be battling it out for years, and neither one of them looked that good. So I'm happy we didn't trade up for a quarterback yet.
Zach Wilson all day, dude. But also one credit to Kyle Pitts, man. I thought I said that he was the only generational talent in this damn draft, and I was right. Sorry,
that's not true. We have the second coming of LT apparently in our division now, Kyle. So watch your mouth.
Who? Minka Person?
Yeah, that guy, Minka Patrick.
Yeah, Minka Person.
I don't know.
Yeah, Hall.
I'll go Elijah Vera Tucker. I know there was a lot of talk that we needed a guard at that position or at that number. And everyone was saying, 19 would be a perfect place to take a guard. And if you look at the year that Elijah Vera Tucker had, you'd be like, yeah, I'm glad we didn't take him. Also, honorable mention.
Christian Darrisaw.
I was about to say
honorable
that too,
mention,
Kyle.
Another Vikings player. I know we're all high on him, but Kellen Mond apparently is booty sauce.
Yeah. But Darrisaw's apparently been playing amazing. Darrisaw's been playing very well when he actually played. So shout out to his family.
Yeah, I just remember being mocked all the time. But now the next question is from Twitter, and that's Road Chaser. Should we be trading back into round 1 for the quarterback versus picking a quarterback at 11? What are you guys in favor of, Hall?
I mean, I guess it would depend how the draft board would shake out, but I don't really imagine. I mean, I guess you could get Desmond Ridder at the bottom of the first round, kind of like Lamar Jackson type of thing, where you draft him, you trade back into like the 30s or the low 20s, the high 20s. Sorry, I don't know what's going on today. The high 20s.
Is that what you tell people when they ask how old you are? I'm not even 30. I'm low 29.
The high 20s, and maybe you do like one of those situations where you can get him on a rookie deal, you get the 5th-year option, so you get that extra year to kind of see like what do we have with him, more control over the player. But as far as trading back in, I don't think that's on the board. But like I said, depends how the draft shakes out and how the board shakes out. But I think that if they're going to go quarterback, they're going to go quarterback at 11.
Yeah, it's all depending on what happens up until that point, because obviously in free agency, what you can have is you can get somebody plug in. Maybe they just get lucky or they trade or whatever, and that first rounder's not even going to be worth a damn. But in this particular situation, if I had to pick, I would say trading back just based on how I think this is going to work. And Washington right now has 6 picks in this draft. They don't have a 5th rounder. And looking at how this season played out with injuries and COVID and everything, obviously they need depth at a lot of positions. And so I would like to get as many picks as possible in order to do so. What about you, Reed?
Yeah, obviously, I think that we still have holes that we need to fill in the roster, but at the same time, like, it really depends on how the draft board and everything shakes out. I mean, if they say they fall in love with like a Keith Gray or something, and they want to trade up and get him, then they could do that. No, but like a Kenny Pickett, if they strike out in free agency and they really think that Kenny Pickett's the guy or somebody like that, and they have to trade up to get him, you got to do what you got to do. You got to secure that quarterback.
Yeah,
quarterback.
And Reed already gave him a kind of an introduction, but it's not worthy enough. We are joined now by Keith Gray. What's up, Jason Wright's right-hand man?
I wouldn't go that far.
I think pretty soon he's going to be surgically attached to Jason as his right hand. Right?
All right. In about 10 minutes, I'm going to get a ton of Twitter hate now. Thank you, gentlemen.
You're absolutely right about that. But we were just talking, Keith, but I wanted to talk about something new because we haven't brought it up yet. But the team just announced about the Park and Party that's going to be going on February 4th on a Friday night from like 6 to 9 p.m. at Fedex Field. And I was on the fence about going until I heard that old Andy Burrows in the UK was going to be coming over and coming down with you. So kind of like, how excited are you about this? And what do you think is going to happen there?
So that's kind of what I just wrapped up on that other show that people don't listen to. We kind of discussed this a little bit. Yeah. When I first saw it, the first thing that didn't come to mind was complain, because this was something through the ambassadorship that I had been preaching, throw an event for the fans on something that is in the sports world is considered historical, and because think about it, when we're all dead 50 years from now, right? Unless it's Kyle, because he'll live on forever.
Yeah, Kyle's got a blood boy in the basement. He's gonna live forever.
I still don't get that joke.
Just Google blood boy. Google what a blood boy is.
Well, my initial thought was, when I said that, was actually doing something on, whatever release date that it was going to be. Right. So I find it odd that it's 2 days later. But
it makes sense not to do it on a Wednesday. I mean,
of course, because people are at work, and so I get that.
We should do it 2 days prior so we don't know what we're celebrating.
Well, and it'd be nice to climb in the minds of these guys to find out why they chose Tutu in the first place, a Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Why not a Friday? Why not a Friday? If you knew that you were going to do a Friday event, why not do it that same day?
Everyone wants alliteration. Maybe it's the Washington Wednesdays.
Hey, that's true. WW, 2 W's on 2222.
What?
Oh, is that the code that did you just crack the code?
I think so. I think he's like, I'm gonna have to leave now. Mike figured it out. Jason's gonna be so mad.
I'm going to tweet right now. So I don't know. And then someone kind of, and I can't help but to agree, but someone did put in a tweet, like, what? So we can have photo ops with the same guys that are always available, like Gary Clark. And I get that. And I get that sentiment. But at the end of the day, I look at it too, like,
but what if it's
at least
Kirk?
Kirk who?
Kurt.
Oh, Kurt who?
Kirk Cousins. I know that's your boy, dude. That's the only reason why I said that.
He's a nice guy.
I don't know. Just to get back to your quote. God, I mean, you guys
threw him off. Man.
Jesus. I appreciate the alumni that come out regardless.
Right. Yeah.
At the end of the day, I have to look at this situation like, all right, it's a Friday night. It's going to be cold and it's in a parking lot. Why not the stadium? Type of deal. So they make these weird decisions. And I really don't. I'd like to climb in their minds to find out what was your decision-making process when you did this.
Probably Omicron has a lot to do with it. They didn't want people.
Well, also they don't want all the fans to tear their ACLs, so they don't want to have it on the field.
I was gonna say. I mean, I'm not gonna believe anything COVID related because we've been at games all season long. But anyways,
that's a good point. That's a good point.
But nonetheless, they still did something for the fans. People are still gonna complain about it. Yeah. I look at it like this. At first, I was with this whole name change thing, man, I'm still kind of on the fence with this whole thing. I mean, I'm still going to fully 100% be a Redskins guy, and it is what it is. But I'll support, this new adventure, so to speak. But I want to know what the name is. And I was just kind of like, all right, well, if this name is trash, I just don't think I'm going to go, because I'm not going to be a fun person to be around in something that to me may not be to a lot of others, but to me is important. Right now, if I love the name, totally different story. I'm twerking out in the parking lot. Mm-hmm. But then Andy reached out to me, and Andy's like, hey, are you gonna go? And I'm like, I don't know, man. And then he's like, oh, I'm looking at getting a flight. And I was like, all right, then, my place is for you to stay if you want, and we'll go do this damn thing.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm talking about. Look, I'm excited for it, and I know I'm just ready for February 2nd to get here, just to get it over with, so we can finally know what it is, see the uniforms, and finally feel good about it. But one of the questions that we have is from Scott Hartley, and he wants to know, because Washington has a lot of cap space in the offseason, and they do only have 6 picks in the draft, Keith, He wants to know, do you see us making a bigger splash in the free agent market, or do you see them supplementing more in the draft?
Supplementing more in the draft. I think they're gonna, there's always one guy that I think that they have their eye on, whoever that may be, that could be considered the big splash. And what's going to happen is they'll go all in for that, and if they don't get it, they'll move on. And I think that's been the story so far.
Yep.
What do you think?
That happened with Amari Cooper 2 years ago, right?
Yep.
They tried to go all in for him, and Amari he was like, I found myself a man, and he stayed with Dallas.
Which I don't brag a lot, but I just wanted to be, I just wanted to tell everyone I was the one to break that news first. Okay, anyways.
No, that's right.
Nice.
Old Keith Schefter over here.
Right.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I don't really see them spending as much in free agency, but at the same time, if they think that this team's close, I think that they would want to get established players as opposed to rookies and late round picks. But I still see them building through the draft. That's kind of been what Rivera's been doing the entire time. I think that the Martins believe in that as well. So I really think that they'll build through the draft as well.
Yeah, I think that the free agency will be heavy, and I think that Ron Rivera's comments about the quarterbacks in particular is something that's very alarming in a way, that I'll say, and exciting. Because if they do go down the route of acquiring a quarterback and have to give up picks and everything, they're going to spend big at free agency in order to make that veteran quarterback comfortable and make it fun for him to be here. And so I think that they would be spending that, and that would be entailing bringing back their own guys. But that being said, I think that's objective number one, is bringing back a guy like Terry, J.D. McKissick, DeAndre Carter, and how well they did this season, especially like Cam Sims as well. What do you think, Hall?
Yeah, I think that, well, if you listen to what Ron Rivera said when they asked him, they asked him, do you think that, do you want to go the rookie route or the veteran route? And he basically said that if they draft a rookie and they go the rookie route, he believes that the team is built out enough and they're at the right position now to pretty much drop in a rookie and be able to flourish. So with that being said, I do think that they're going to try to go out and get a big time quarterback, maybe trade for one, maybe, I guess it's not really one in free agency per se, but maybe make a big splash trade. Yeah, make a big splash trade.
There's no big splash for agent quarterback.
Didn't Ron also say, "Are you guys going to give me time if I get a rookie?"
Exactly. Yeah. He put it both sides, but
he teetered that at least.
Exactly. Right. So I definitely think that they're going to try to spend money in free agency, especially because
he's not wrong.
I think they're sitting like 4th or 5th overall as far as the amount of cap money in the NFL right now. So. Is that going to be on a wide receiver to pair with Terry and Curtis Samuel? Maybe like a Mike Williams? Is that a big splash? Like, I don't know. So, yeah, that's kind of my view of it. I think they're going to go big fish hunting, big fish fishing, and if they can't catch anybody, big game hunting. Yeah.
Who hunts fish?
I mean,
big fish hunting.
It's easier. You shoot the fish in the water. They just,
that's true. I mean, I think he figured it out.
You've seen cartoons. Drop the dynamite in the water, blows up.
You can go hunting. You can go hunting for fish all you want. Just don't tell me about it later. Now, the next question from Scott is going to be really quick. But what was your favorite moment or part of recording the pod this year? He says for him, it was an honor to be on with you and Reed. The funniest moment for him was with the Burrows question to Hall about going back in time and not doing well for his people. So what's your favorite moment this year, Hall?
Favorite moment this year, because there's only been 14 days.
Oh, come on, you know what he means.
Come on, Hall.
I'd probably say Jimmy Moreland was fun to talk to. That dude was pretty funny. He was funny on the podcast.
Doesn't qualify.
He's a cool dude, chill dude.
It's cool.
So, what?
It does. Yeah, it was over a year ago. It's fine.
Was it?
Yeah. What about you, Reed?
Oh yeah, that was like a year and a half ago. My favorite, obviously, anytime we have Keith on the show is a good one for me. But my favorite has to be.
I love you.
I love you too. I love you. My favorite has to just be in general. The entire week after we found out that Jesse found Bigfoot, just in general, that was just my favorite storyline ever. Like of anything that I've ever heard. Like that when you guys told me that at training camp, I just sat there and I was like, yes, I can't believe this is happening. Like this is the best thing ever. And then I had to grill him on it, find out what he saw, how big he thought it was.
And then you waited. Remember, he waited like 2 or 3 hours. We were all just standing there watching practice. Reed's like, you remember that time that Jesse saw Bigfoot?
And then I had to wait outside the hot tubs, and I was like, all right, where's he at? I had to get a glimpse.
Dude, you need to chill, man. You're ridiculous. Honestly, Scott, I don't have a favorite, man. I hate to be like stupid, like all Michael Scott from The Office with this, but I really don't have a favorite, man. I just have fun doing this with you guys and being able to talk to everybody, taking their time out, being able to do so. It's a lot of fun. People like Keith being able to sit here and just look at me in his Johnny Bravo face. It's awesome. Now, next question is from our guy Jeff Miles. Keith, the new stadium is obviously the answer, but what can they do to make FedEx Field itself less terrible?
Look, just win football games. Fans are going to come to the stadium regardless of the way that it looks. We're all going to have to deal with it. I'm going to be 100% honest. We're going to have to deal with that trash can until we get a new stadium.
Without a doubt.
I'm telling you, and I think we all know, I'm not telling you any secrets, but when that new stadium happens, you damn well know that thing is going to be state of the art. Yes, it's going to come with a price as fans, but hey, this is what everyone was asking for, so this is what you're going to get. And you know, me personally, with this whole name change and everything, I'm ready for all of it to change. Man, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I'm not going to lie. I'd say this season was kind of rough on me for my whole change of personality of the things that I was doing, and knowing deep down inside, talking, and you guys have talked to these guys too, so I'm not making this exclusive, but we know where some of these team officials, what they're trying to do. And we know that they're deeply passionate about doing it. And so when you just see everybody on Twitter just completely getting together and trash canning everything, and it's exhausting, man. It really is. And that's weird for me to say because I'm the glass half empty guy, right? I'm the guy who used to do that. But I didn't call the stadium a trash. I didn't do none of that. I called the team trash because the team wasn't winning, right? And yet Ron Rivera comes in, and there's a lot of things that change my perspective on, maybe how I can be. And I flipped my platform. And because I did that, I start to see things on the opposite side, man. And so there's nothing you can do, man. Look, no one's going to care about the seat that they're actually sitting in. They're going to care about the product on the field. So just win. That's it.
Right.
That's how you make it better.
I will say, like, obviously, I know you said not the basic ones, but they're going to have to figure out a way to be able to fix the concessions. If they're able to get people off of those concessions faster and actually go through people and be reliable in that aspect, I think a lot more people are going to be happy. One being Hall. I know that happened one time. And then also I saw the thing they just had in the club seating I think on the north side of the stadium. They're having like they've now changed that section to where it's going to be 2 seats at a little half moon table with like little leather seats that look like cushioned, which I thought was a great idea for people because some people like that kind of bar aspect of it. Kind of gives you that privacy as well, and it's a good look onto the field. But me personally, I love to stand, so that wouldn't rock too hard with me. Personally.
Okay, well, first of all, it's not full moon, so I don't even appreciate that. Okay, so
You're ridiculous.
No, I mean pretty much all the I'm just being all the rest of the Twitterverse. Sorry.
I just think it's weird that people go to games and want like that type of atmosphere. Like for instance, no offense to the Sweet Life, but that's not for me. Yeah. Right.
You know what's funny about that? People always say, "Oh, Dan Snyder just wants to be Jerry Jones. We want to copy Dallas." Well, don't you want a big stadium like Dallas? Don't you want to have a huge interactive stadium, a huge like that experience when you go to the stadium like Dallas?
Say huge.
I'll tell you what I want. I want to start arguing with Ticketmaster, with the ticket people from FedEx, and tell them that I'm not giving you money because you have nothing to do with the name change, and you didn't make the name changed. You didn't.
It didn't happen unless you posted on Twitter. I'm just letting you know now.
That's true. Hey, before we get into our playoff pick'ems for each matchup, our last question is from Big Tony Shivers. Thanks, Tony. He says, one thing everyone can agree on, F Dallas. What is your key for the 49ers to pull off the upset? Side note, we'll enjoy watching Trent Williams maul whoever lines up against him. Hall.
Key to that game would definitely be 49ers got to get that run game going. And I would say Jimmy G has to be the Jimmy G he was against the Rams, which is turnover-free football and completing at least like 65+% of his passes. And if they can do that, keep the game close until about the 7 to 5 minute mark in the fourth quarter, I think they can come away with the victory.
Yeah, run the football effectively. That's it. Very simple. Keith?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say anything different than what Hall said because he's a genius. But unfortunately, 49ers are not winning this one. Cowboys are too deep with talent on both sides of the ball, in my opinion. I think they're going to get past the first round. And I've said all season, 49ers are fraudulent. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care about their hot little stretch at the end. None of that. Jimmy G, in my opinion, just ain't it.
That was a very seductive way of saying it.
Yep. So keep it moving. Dallas is going to win this one.
Yeah.
The only thing Jimmy G can do is get hurt so Trey Lance can come in and destroy Dallas, right? Right, gang?
Yeah. Well, somebody mentioned his small hands, and that's extremely frustrating.
He has Whopper Jr. hands too.
Yeah, listen, I don't want to hear none of that, and I'm going to hear this about Kenny Pickett all offseason.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm telling you, if you guys get on to Kenny Pickett about his small hands, I'm gonna fight all of you. I don't care for friends.
I have small hands. I have Whopper Jr. hands, so I know what it's like. I'm not going to judge you, man.
Yeah, thank you. See, that's why I like you, Reed.
I know. I'm a good guy.
All right, so
you're top 5 favorite easily.
Let's start breaking down these games. Well, not break them down, but let's do pick'ems. So the first one we're going to do is the Saturday matchup. The Las Vegas Raiders are traveling to Cincinnati. 5.5-point favorites Cincinnati Bengals are. Starts at 4:30 p.m. on NBC. Keith, who are you taking in that game?
Without a doubt, Cincinnati. They're going to blow them out too.
I agree.
Yeah. I'm going with my favorite player that is not on the Washington football team, and that is the coolest guy in the NFL, Joey B, and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, that's smart. What about you, Hall?
I think it's going to be a close game, but I will go slight edge to the Bengals just because the Raiders, coming off that overtime game, they're probably going to be super tired.
Yeah, look, I think the Raiders have been a fantastic story this season with everything that they've had to deal with as a team, losing a coach, losing the star wide receiver. I thought that
the quarterback running a podcast.
Right. Derek Carr. And obviously they've done a great job. But yeah, it's Cincinnati, dude. Running the football well and then stopping the run effectively is the way you win in this league. But look, they're getting Darren Waller back, I'm pretty sure. So that'll be a great matchup. But I'm still going with the Bengals. Next one, Patriots at the Bills, 8:15 on Saturday, Keith. 4.5-point favorite the Bills are. Are you going with Josh Allen and the boys?
So I don't particularly like to go against Bill Belichick, but unfortunately, I think the Bills are going to take this one.
Yeah, I like this matchup. It's probably my favorite of the weekend just because it's going to be just balls, dude, just beating all day long. I wouldn't be surprised. If Josh Allen throws the game away late in the same night. Yeah.
Balls are just going to bang together.
There you go, Scott. There's my favorite part.
What do you do with your friends? Yeah. I've never done that before.
Just ball on ball, okay? I've been watching a lot of movies recently. But I'm going with the Bills. I think the Bills easily take it. What about you, Reed?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cincy too. I'm right there with Keith. Where like I never ever want to go against Bill Belichick.
But when you got ball on ball,
yeah, when you got ball on ball action, anything can happen. Anybody can get hurt at anytime. You know, Josh Allen swinging that big old trophy case. So I guess you gotta go Bills.
Hey, by the way, my favorite moment of the season was catching Kyle over there in section 109 without his hat on.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
During the national anthem. I thought it was like Joe Dirt.
I knew it.
Oh, I took a picture and everything.
I knew it too, because like I even took it
tweeted
off. I was like, dude, I know Keith is gonna take a picture of this, and I was like, but I don't think he will. Maybe he won't see me. And then I didn't check my phone for 5 minutes. Look at it. There it is. Yeah, of course he did.
Yeah, so you got to know I'm a little smarter than that because I knew that you were going to take your hat off during the national anthem, so I was ready, buddy, beforehand.
He was plotting it.
Right. Oh, I knew it before pregame. I was pregaming this.
Now let's go to their next game was the Eagles for the Sunday night, and that's 1:00 kickoff. That's gonna be on Fox. Eagles versus Bucks, 8.5-point favorite. The Bucks are. Jalen Hurts, Hall, is he gonna take this game?
I'm gonna say no. I do think it'll be close though. I definitely think that a lot of people are going like heavy Tampa Bay favorites, but I think the running game with Miles Sanders coming back, Jalen Hurts, they're gonna keep it close, and it'll be like then they're gonna cover because it's like 8.5 or something like that.
Yeah,
I think they'll cover. So I think it'll be like a 10-point win, but I think it'll still the scoreboard's not gonna tell how close the game is gonna be. But I'll still go Buccaneers.
Yeah, the biggest aspect of that is being able to shut down Tom Brady. But, yeah, I definitely think the Bucs are going to take that. Hopefully the NFC East.
Which ball-on-ball action you going with this one?
Well, I was going to have the zinger in there, man. Go, Keith.
Yeah, you can never just – it's Tom Brady in the playoffs. You can't go against Brady. ever.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
if this game was in Philadelphia, I actually might consider it a little bit more, just because if we can beat them, so can anyone.
Yeah,
because we can't beat anyone. Anyways, you know, but yeah, you know, put my ball against Kyle's, and I'm going with the Bucks.
Good job,
Just
dude.
press them against
All right,
each other.
let's do rapid fire. 49ers versus the Cowboys. I think I'm taking 49ers.
I gotta go with Dallas. Unfortunately, I don't want them to, but
Dallas.
Yeah, everyone's
disappointments,
hyping up the
all of you.
I said this on Twitter. They're hyping up the 49ers so much that when the Dallas Cowboys win, that's all the media is going to talk about. How, they beat the hottest team in the NFC. They're on the road to the Super Bowl. Look at them. They're back. So I'm going to go Dallas, but they're going to get knocked out.
Look, Hall getting very conspiracy theory mind over there. All right, next one, Steelers versus Chiefs, the ones that don't have a chance at this football game, Keith.
Chiefs.
I think the Steelers win it. I think the Steelers win it, and they get the matchup against the Titans. I definitely do.
Even Ben Roethlisberger doesn't think the Steelers win this game. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Yeah, nah. I mean, Mike Tomlin, just like you can't bet against Bill Belichick. You can't bet against Mike Tomlin in prime time in a lopsided win game. I'm still gonna pick the Chiefs, but it's gonna be close. It's like the Philly and Tampa Bay game.
Super Bowl hangover with these teams, dude. I think the Chiefs aren't going to get that far. It always happens a year after for these teams. Steelers, I'm going with. Last one, Cards versus Rams. Keith, who are you going with?
Yeah, you can give me the Rams.
I'll go Rams.
I'm going to go Rams, too.
I'm going Rams on that one, too.
Cooper Kupp can't
Did you hear that one?
Nope.
Did you hear that one lady? She was saying how don't sell your tickets to Arizona fans and stuff like.
Yeah, that was Matt Stafford's wife.
That's the market that is the reason why we have to wait like 8 o'clock for primetime games. Like, really?
Mm-hmm.
We're kowtowing to those guys? But I wanted to thank you, Keith, for joining us.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Stupid.
Yeah, listen, he's giving me the outro. It's my time.
Yeah,
now,
I
so.
know. I got it. I was like, I want to bang my balls against yours, Kyle.
Hey, but I appreciate you, Keith. I know the next couple weeks is going to be crazy with everything going on with the name change. But it's been an awesome season, dude. I can't thank you enough for helping me out, getting me some of those tickets and putting me up front and close and center, especially with the Colonel. We really appreciated that because it was an awesome game to go to for each one of those. Keith, you're the best, man.
Good. I appreciate it. Like I said, I love when you guys have me on your show. Gives me a little insight to actually be serious once in a while, even though I put my ball up against yours. But no, I have a good time as always. And like I said, meeting you guys at camp was probably a highlight of my season. You know, I'm a lonely old man over here. So, you know, being able to get out in the world, talk football with you guys was pretty cool. Appreciate it. And I always love when you guys have me on.
Of course, dude.
Hey.
And we're going to see you at the parking party, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there, man. But Andy's talking about all this party, and I'm like, dude, I'm 43. I'm done. I'm tired at 7:30 p.m.
Don't
man.
say that to Andy, man. Don't say it to Andy. That guy's the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, I think we should all be worried about Andy.
Yeah, I gotta host this guy too. Like, I'm gonna drop him off in DC and just leave. You guys,
I was about to say you should give him a taste of what America's really like. Yeah.
Don't do that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time. We'll see you on Monday with a brand new episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Washington football. Woo! Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching, and if you liked what you saw, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you get notified when anything new is uploaded to the channel. Also, we just launched theburgundyzone.com. You can go there and find all of our latest news, articles, and the latest episodes that are uploaded. Again, we also have the Discord chat server, where all of our VIP folks are in, like Andy Burrows, Scott Hartley, Sergio Martin is in there as well. Don't miss out on the Discord chat server. Go and check that out. Until next time, everybody, Washington football. Woo!